Okay, so this is not a reaction video, or at least not a normal one. I'm going to show you small portions of a whole bunch of videos in order to support an idea I have. So basically just watch a little bit and then go on to the next video and comment about what it means. So first of all, let's look at Based Camp with Simone and Malcolm here. And all these links will be in the descriptions, including the exact timestamps I'm showing here. Okay, so let's make it big and let's listen to them just a little bit.
Continue, note the word here, continue. Continue discrediting American culture by degrading all forms of artistic expression. An American communist cell was told to, quote, eliminate all good sculpture from parks and buildings, substitute shapeless, awkward, meaningless forms.
Wait, so there's a reason for that? There's a reason for the proliferation of heinously ugly statues everywhere in the United States? Thank you. No, because it didn't make any sense. And now we just know every time you walk by some misshapen, disgusting thing in the street, it's the commies. It's actually literally the commies.
It's not just public stuff now, it's video games. I mean, look at Mixtape. Look at the games they're pushing on us.
Oh my God. Well, no, Mixtape was created by the daughter.
Yeah, so Mixtape is a really notorious super woke video game that is just ugly in its storytelling and its gameplay. Okay, so let me show you a little bit from the description. So what are they talking about? This is caused by the communists. So this is talking about the 1963 list of communist goals for the United States. They actually compiled by FBI agent and entered into the congressional record. Yeah, I'm not going to try to pronounce that name there. Okay, so I'm not necessarily thinking it's all the communists that are behind this. I think there's a whole bunch of forces that are causing the modern ugliness. Communism is just one of them. Okay, so I wanted to show you another guy. So this is Sheehan Quirk, and look at him, nearly 250,000 subscribers. And I want to show you several timestamps of this same video, but let me show you his channel briefly. Look at him. He has one video, 5.5 million views. This went super viral. It is incredibly impactful to people. Let me show you. This is about how did the world get so ugly. Let's look at it.
I'm by the River Thames in London. Now, it's a charming place where tourists love to come. But why do they love coming here? Well, you've got views of iconic buildings like the Houses of Parliament and St Paul's Cathedral, but that's not all. Have a look at this. It's a typical modern lamppost. Do you like it? Well, it does its job, but not much else. But look over here at another lamppost. It does its job and a little bit more. It's details like these that help make this such a charming place to be. But these two lampposts don't just look different. They represent fundamentally different worldviews. If you want to understand any society, don't listen to what it says about itself. Look at what it creates.
Yeah, look at what it creates. So this really resonated with people. Let me show you another timestamp. So anyways, this is only a 15-minute video, but I just want to show you a few timestamps. He talks about the lampposts, about the design, and how things used to be so beautiful, including this this incredible, you know, he compares this old sewage plant with the new one. This is the new one here, and the old one. Oh my, the old one is incredible. It's been turned into a museum. I can't show you all the good spots in this, but I'll show you another relevant spot right here, talking about the lampposts. Let's go.
Timeless. Those lamps on the embankment did their job. And even though more efficient and better methods of lighting have been invented, they remain 150 years later. That's the power of good design. And it applies to lampposts no less than to national parliaments.
Okay, very beautiful stuff. Yeah, and then I got one more timestamp for the same video right here, and these timestamps will be in the description as well.
Modern design tells the truth very loudly, that we are technologically superior and very efficient, but also a little bit boring and unimaginative. And it says that we no longer believe in the idea of ordinary beauty, or in the idea of a public that deserves ordinary beauty. Museums and galleries are wonderful places where we can come and look at things that people used to make and admire their handiwork. They're not just dead historical artifacts. These are living echoes of different ideas about what the world is and what the world could be.
And this is the sewage plant. Yeah, this is the sewage plant right here. Beautiful.
But in the end, you can't live in a museum.
Yeah, so what kind of world do you want to live in? Do you want to live in a world of modern ugliness or of terrible beauty? It's so awesome. So let's look. Hank Green. Yeah, he's a super big YouTuber, over 3 million subscribers, and I just wanted to show you a little bit of this. So he's going to talk about something really incredible for the first 3 minutes. So let's look at what he says here.
More depressing takes, and maybe it won't sound depressing at first, but it goes something like this. In our current era, anything that will get watched will get made. And that might just sound obvious to you, but it didn't used to be like this. We used to say, oh, like we're making content for kids, let's make sure that this stuff is like super enriching. There were also times when people were like, oh, so there's a market for racist slop? That doesn't matter, we just won't publish those videos. But that's not what happens anymore. Now we have Fruit Love Island and toy unboxings and the various racists that I'm not going to name. But I've been thinking about my take here, and it is wrong. I think that
Fruit Love Island is a really notorious AI slop series. That's what he's talking about there. Let's keep going.
There is a very vital piece of nuance to add to it. And wild thing here, like 1971 was when Herbert Simon basically called this. He was writing about a future where information was about to become abundant. And he put, this is crazy work for 1971. And he pointed out that the thing that would get scarce wasn't information, it was attention. He had his own little phrase that he coined, a wealth of information creates a poverty of attention. And this guy was looking at fax machines and going, yeah, this is gonna be a problem. I feel like he would have been turned to dust by a TikTok algorithm. But he was right. There is a very new structure of the world since we have gotten access to much more information than we could possibly consume, which is a relatively new phenomenon. And I'm very in on that phenomenon. I spend all my time in it. I surf those waves. You cannot compete on obligation. You have to make stuff that people want to watch. But here's my correction. because there are things that people absolutely will watch that are nonetheless not getting made. And there's a very basic and obvious reason why. It's that it isn't cheap. When everybody is creating, there isn't just a system that surfaces the stuff that people will pay attention to. There are some systems below the surface that make it so that it's a lot easier to highlight and to have be discovered people who are doing things very cheaply. I've always said this about like video game streamers. It's
Yeah. See, the AI is lowering the barrier to entry. There will be a lot of stuff that will be produced very cheaply. And yeah, it's, if you're an individual AI video maker and looking at the stuff right now, it's getting more expensive. It used to be free to make AI videos, and now it costs. But and it cost a lot for the really, good programs that do a really good job. But the cost is so much less than, hiring a studio of animators and musicians to make your AI music video. It's so much less. And because of that, there is a lot of stuff. So we're facing what Hank Green is talking about with there's an abundance of information. It's attention that is becoming scarce. It's how do you get your stuff seen by people, and particularly how do you get it seen by people who will then get other people to see it. That's the thing there. But because the barrier of entry is low, people who want to break out of the ugliness paradigm can do so much more easily. Okay, let's keep going.
It's like the easiest job, but it's like hardest to be great at. So on the surface of it, it's just a person playing video games and talking, which seems like everyone would be kind of equally good at that, but it turns out that's very much not the case. But because the barrier to entering into that market is very low, lots of people enter into it, and that means that the best people learn from each other and surface each other. And so you have this field of like millions of people trying to do this, from which you select, like Ludwig. You like find the guy who's like handsome and he's funny and he's great at Smash Brothers, or like pretty good enough at Smash Brothers.
Yeah. So yeah. In the Skyebrows community, we're developing this large pool of talent, and we are learning from each other, and we are surfacing each other. So stuff that he's talking about is happening. Yeah. Okay. So I wanted to move on to this one. Christian Hands, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And the age of the orc is over. The age of man has begun again. And this is another thing about the ugliness. This video here, Leaflet has reacted to this too. See this here? Leaflet has reacted to this too. So this is kind of about the meme, the left has no response to this. Okay, and I'm not going to react to this whole thing, but just to a little bit of it. Let's go.
Probably already seen this trend by now. Someone, usually from a country like Japan, will post a video or a photo of an animal doing something completely innocent and undeniably adorable. And each time, it'll get thousands of likes and retweets. And in those retweets, you'll usually find a second viral trend. An explicitly right-wing account will quote the same video with a caption like, "The left has no response to this. It's over for the left." Or, "This is a disaster for them." This probably started a few months ago, but it's picked up enough steam that you see it everywhere if you're involved in any political circles on the internet. These one-off comments will also get thousands of likes and retweets in their own right. I made one myself just as a throwaway post, and it ended up getting over 16,000 likes. Now, the mimetic power of these sorts of posts are so obvious that I don't really need to spend a lot of time covering it here. This is not an explicitly political argument. In the most literal sense, it's just an image of something small, harmless, and aesthetically pleasing. And yet, thousands upon thousands of people seem to have almost immediately understood what's meant when someone says, "This is a disaster for the left."
Yes, people understand it because let's go back to base camp. Remember, they were talking about communists, the left. So yeah, the left in America is becoming more and more communist over the last 25 years or so. Yeah, it didn't used to be so communist. It used to be like maybe a few drops of socialism in there. But yeah, it's becoming more and more communist, and the communists want ugly stuff, like in the Soviet Union, the old Soviet Union. It was like make everything ugly, make everyone dress in gray and dull blue, just make everything very utilitarian, make all the public buildings into these big cement blocks, that kind of trend. Yeah, that kind of trend. Let's keep going.
That really only happens if the meme itself is pointing to something that people already feel but haven't fully articulated in words. In a way, that's what a meme literally is if you're forced to give a non-academic definition. Now, that might explain the viral side of things. But what about the explicit right-wing nature of these posts? Where are the viral posts of leftists quote tweeting about cats lounging around saying that this is a disaster for the right? I'm sure we'll see it eventually, if for no other reason than to vindicate the iron law that the left can't meme without stealing things from the right. But there's something about beauty, nature, innocence, and even cuteness that the right has latched onto and claimed as its own, almost as a response to what it sees as the degeneracy and ugliness of modern left-wing aesthetic movements. What seems to be happening here, at least on a deeper level, is that the right has begun to intuit, again, not necessarily consciously, that a great deal of the left's cultural dominance over the past several decades has not simply been a matter of persuasion or institutional capture, but of something closer to aesthetic and psychological demoralization.
Yeah, there's demoralization involved when you live in an ugly place, when the movies and the video games and everything that you see around you are all ugly, when the stories are celebrating the people who should be the villains, or are completely boring and uninteresting, yeah, that's very demoralizing. And yeah, Basecamp talks about it in here. Yes, Basecamp talks about it in here. Okay, let's keep going.
We've been subjected to decades of leftist infiltration. The arts, architecture, cinema, media, entertainment, all of these things have been hijacked, and they've all tried to push hideous, ugly, grotesque, and deformed things and make them mainstream.
Yes, look at some of these things.
Hideous, ugly, grotesque, and deformed things.
Yep. And yeah, look at this.
Things and make them mainstream. The entire leftist project is to call good things ugly and ugly things good. That's what modernist art has become. It's what postmodern architecture is. It's what every statue of a fat woman wearing casual clothes in the middle of Times Square, a flat-nosed Olmec head crushing a Tesla, or a demonic sculpture celebrating abortion are all intended to be about. And in response to this, the right says, look at this small, pure, natural, and untheorized thing. Look at this animal that doesn't need to be deconstructed, queered, problematized, historicized, or morally torn to pieces. It just exists, and it's good. That is the thing the left has no response to. The joke is that the right is treating innocent beauty as if it's a political weapon, because in a way, it sort of is.
Yeah. So I've watched almost half this video. I want to go on and talk a little bit about how AI, and particularly AI as it's used by the Skyebrows community, has the potential to combat this trend. People are desperate. They're desperate to see real beauty again. And yeah, traditional artists can give them real beauty, but the barrier to entry with traditional art is high. The barrier to entry with AI art is low, and a lot more people are able to make it. Yeah. Okay, so let me show you. I'm going to show you this one. So yes, I've reacted to this before. Julie LaCroix, all of the link to where I reacted to it in the description, as well as the link to this video. I want to show you this AI music video. This is about how modern art is ugly, and how now that everyone can make beautiful art, beauty can return to the world. I want to show you this video, or at least large portions of it. I might even watch the whole thing. It's just incredible. Let's watch it.
Cleopatra. Eternal queen of beauty, rise to claim your throne. The last bastion of purity, the art world has forgone. The tides have changed, the dams have burst. It's time for a return to earth. Unleash your sacred power, flood the system with rebirth. AI on the march. AI on the march. AI on the march. AI on the march. We waited for you in this age of debasement, tortured our patience with art so complacent, with no foundation, mocking our appreciation.
Yeah, see, it's showing all of the ugly modern art. The banana duct tape to the wall, and just all of this. Look at how ugly it is, and it's comparing it with Cleopatra, which is sort of the, not the real Cleopatra, but the idealized version of Cleopatra. You know, the idea of Cleopatra that we have in our mind as a culture, that she's this beautiful, this queen of beauty, and it's contrasting the old idea of beauty with the modern idea of beauty, which is just ugliness like this.
Tortured our patience with art so complacent, with no foundation, mocking our appreciation, considered abominations.
Yeah, see the Olympics, and yeah, the horrible fountain.
Considered abominations, masquerading as creations. But now the tide has changed, the dam has burst. It's time for our return to earth. Unleash your sacred power, flood the system with rebirth.
everyone can make art, and we can flood the system with rebirth. Yes, we can all make beauty. That's because the barrier to AI is so low. Everyone can make beauty. And people are hungry for beauty. They're very hungry for beauty right now. See, this is the one of the theses of the so there's several of the sorry, I can't pronounce it. The thesis of the Skyebrows community. This is one of them. Bring back beauty to the world. That's one of them. There's other goals as well, but that is one. Okay, so I did actually end up watching the whole thing. Yeah, I've reacted to that before. So I wanted to show you something else I've reacted to from the Skyebrows community. So I've reacted to this one before, and I'm just going to show you a few moments of this. So this is Northy, another creator in the Skyebrows community, and he's talking about is generative AI art. So yeah, this is an AI video, and let's just look at a little bit of it right here.
Wasn't just a technician, he was a director. He treated his studio like a theater, using elaborate painted backdrops, custom costumes, and dramatic lighting to turn a simple photograph into a work of art. One particular image, known as Oscar Wilde number 18, became an instant icon. However, a massive printing company called the Barrow Giles Lithographic Company saw its popularity and decided to cash in. And without Cerrone's permission, they printed over 85,000 copies of that photo to use as advertisement for a department store. And you know it, Cerrone was furious and sued for copyright infringement. But the lithography company fought back with a shocking argument. They claimed that the photography was just a mechanical reproduction of reality. The camera did all the work, and therefore it couldn't be copyrighted like a book or a painting. So the fight went all the way to the United States Supreme Court in 1884. In the landmark ruling, the justices disagreed with the printing company. They looked at how
and there we got Skyebrows himself as Oscar Wilde.
Cerrone had posed Oscar Wilde, chosen his clothes, and set the lighting. They declared that Cerrone was an author, and his photo was an original intellectual work. Because of Cerrone's fight, photographers finally gained the same legal protection as every other artist. So then, is generative AI just a mechanical reproduction of reality? The argument...
Yeah, so this argument has been made before about photography. And photographers still get some flack for it. They're like, you know, anyone can point a camera and push the button. And yeah, it's true that, you know, a photographer can produce thousands of photographs a day. That can be done. But there's photography contests. There's photographers that make a living from it. There's all this kind of stuff. And yeah, it is copyrightable. And yeah, it is creative. And yeah, there's a lot of slop, pre-AI slop, you know, before AI ever existed, that was created, but people just don't look at it. It's not the information that is scarce, it's the attention that is scarce. So AI is entering a phase like that. And so I wanted to show you something else. So this is, so the Skyebrows community is growing, gaining attention, and also gaining criticism. Let me show you. So this YouTuber here, and they've got a bunch of videos. Let me show you their videos. Okay, here we go. So yeah, so they've got, let's see, these videos about Skyebrows. So these are Skyebrows diss videos, also dissing the community growing around him, and which Julie LaCroix here with Cleopatra is one of them. So yeah, so this creator here, look at these videos are mostly, they're nearly an hour long. One of them's more than an hour. So look at this. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So basically 5.5 hours, almost 5.5 hours of videos dissing Skyebrows. And I, of course, have not watched 5.5 hours of stuff. I only watched this one here, the first one, and I did watch it all the way through, and I left some big comments below sort of explaining. I don't think this guy is malicious. This guy just, I think, doesn't understand. Like, a lot of the stuff was following the same anti-AI arguments that I see everywhere, although some of it was different that I hadn't really seen before. Like in this one, this guy was arguing that that using AI to make stuff like Skyebrows makes you a woke communist. Yeah, that was one of the arguments that was in here. And it's like, it makes you a woke communist to make, to be Skyebrows or to make Skyebrows like videos. A woke communist. I'm not sure how that follows, but yeah, the Skyebrows community is trying to grow and to develop and to improve and to bring beauty to the world. Yeah, like this Cleopatra, the stuff that's in here, this could be a thesis for the entire Skyebrows community. It could be indeed. Yeah, it's so awesome. Yeah. It's so awesome. So yeah, let's go back actually and look at a little bit more of this video to conclude it, and then we'll go ahead and end this. I hope I've made my point by showing bits of all of these videos.
What's happening psychologically is that the right is increasingly treating normality itself like a forbidden aesthetic. And not just the family or the nation or the church, but things that are far more basic, that feel like the last remnants of a world that existed before the emergence of modernist ideologies and their tendency to destroy anything that can't explain or justify themselves through the ideology's own totalizing frame of reference. They're pointing towards things that are eternal, no matter what the reigning ideology, economic arrangement, or social trend might carry the day at this exact moment. Things like innocence, beauty, nature as it is, don't need an explanation or an argument to justify themselves. They simply are, and they always have been. When you see an anonymous right-wing account on the internet posting that the left has no response to this, what they're essentially arguing, at least implicitly, is that the left's entire intellectual tradition, going back well over a century now, is basically allergic to beauty in the traditional sense.
Yes, we can create beauty, and yeah, about half of this video. There's still a lot more of this video that is really awesome, and all these links will be in the description. I hope I've made my point. A lot of it is speculation about the future, so maybe it won't actually come, but I think it could come. It could come. This is, it's good to have hopes and dreams, and it's good to try for a beautiful and successful future. Yeah, let's create that beauty together. We want to do that.